Hello everyone, my name is Gary Simon Sitanggang with the name 200-705-059. And in this video, I'm going to present to you my analysis on acoustic phonetics by using the Praat application. So in this paper, the author wants to analyze the difference between the British, American, and Australian accent in pronouncing sentences in English by using a software named Praat. It is a free computer software package for speech analysis in phonetics. It was designed and continues to be developed by Paul Boersma and David Winnick of the University of Amsterdam. The pronunciation of each accent will be compared with each other to find the difference. And in order to find the difference, I will find the duration, frequency, and the intensity of each sentence by using the Praat application. In this research, there are 3 sentences that are going to be analyzed by using Praat. The sentences are, "You better watch your step, the kids love playing in the water, and he had enormous charm and a great sense of humor." The first sentence, "You better watch your step," has 6 vowel and 9 consonant. The second sentence, "The kids love playing in the water," has 9 vowel and 13 consonant. And the third sentence, "He had enormous charm and a great sense of humor," has 13 vowel and 22 consonant. So before I show you the result of my analysis, I will show to you how I analyze the data by using Praat software. First, after you open the data by using Praat software, you can just click View and Edit. And after that, before you start on analyzing the data, you should block all of the sound. And then you can start, for example, to find the time, you can click here and click the get length of selection. And here is the total duration of the sentence. And to find the pitch, you can click this one and you can get the average pitch, the minimum pitch, and maximum pitch. For example, I will show you the maximum pitch, and the maximum pitch here is 321 hertz, and it's also similar with the intensity. You can click intensity, and you can also get the mean intensity, minimum intensity, and maximum intensity. For example, here is the maximum intensity, and the maximum intensity is 84 decibel. So that's how I analyze the data, and the process also will be the same for the other sentences, and then I will show you my result. So here is the first sentence, which is "You better watch your step." So after analyzing it using Praat software, I found that the duration of the British accent is 1.392 seconds, the American accent is 1.3 seconds, and the Australian is 1.281 seconds. And the frequency or pitch of the sentences, for the British accent, I found that the average frequency is 242.26 Hertz, and for the minimum frequency is 75.28 Hertz with the word step, and the maximum frequency is 321.070 Hertz with the word better. And for the American accent, the average frequency is 168.98 Hertz, and the minimum frequency is 98.23 Hertz with the word step, and the maximum frequency is 246.77 Hertz with the word better. And also Australian, well, the average frequency is 251.05 Hertz. The minimum frequency is 160.77 Hertz with the word step, and the maximum frequency is 296.31 Hertz with also the word step. So here you can see the text grid picture of each accent. which is shown in the red line in each picture. For the intensity, the British one, the average intensity is 76.84 decibel, and the minimum intensity is 31.22 decibel with the word step, and the maximum intensity is 84 decibel with the word U. The American one, the average intensity is 75.63 decibel. The minimum is 37.79 decibel with the word step, and the maximum is 81.87 decibel with the word U. And the Australian, the average is 71.85 decibel, and the minimum is 30.42 decibel with the word step, and the maximum is 77.91 decibel with the word U. And then you can see the text grid picture of the intensity of each accent in pronouncing the word. In this picture, you can see the green line is the intensity. Next, the second sentence, which is the kids love playing in the water. So the duration that I find after analyzing using the Praat software, the British accent has 2.046 seconds. The American accent has 2.062 seconds, and the Australian accent has 1.714 seconds. And then the frequency or pitch of each accent in pronouncing the word the kids love playing in the water. The first one is British. The average of the frequency in British accent is 220.19 hertz, and the minimum is 141.21 hertz with the word water, and the maximum is 339.54 hertz with the word kids. For the American, the average is 175.06 hertz, and the minimum is 133.61 hertz with the word water, and the maximum is 284.87 hertz with the word kids. And the Australian, the average is 230.84 hertz, and the minimum is 163.88 hertz with the word water, and the maximum is 294.87 hertz with the word kids. And here you can see the text grid picture where you can see the red line is the frequency or pitch of the sound. Next is the intensity. For the British one, the average is 75.78 decibel. The minimum is 9.29 decibel for the word water, and the maximum is 80.27 decibel with the word love. The American average intensity is 72.30 decibel. The minimum intensity is 0.65 decibel with the word the, and the maximum intensity is 80.57 decibel with also the word the at the beginning of the sentence. And the Australian, the average is 71.59 decibel. The minimum is 20.30 decibel with the word the, and the maximum intensity is 76.46 decibel with the word water. And here you can see the text grid picture where the green line showing the intensity of the sound. Next, the third sentence, which is he had enormous charm and a great sense of humor. So after doing the analysis by using the Praat software, I found that the duration of the British accent in pronouncing the word is 2.9 seconds, and the American accent is 2.556 seconds, and the Australian is 2.539 seconds. Here is the frequency or pitch of each accent. The first is British accent. The average frequency is 235.16 hertz. The minimum is 133.14 hertz with the word humor, and the maximum is 327.56 hertz with the word enormous. And for the American, the average is 191.86 hertz, and the minimum frequency is 106.04 hertz with the word charm, and the maximum is 284.28 Hz with the word he. And the Australian, the average frequency is 235.36 Hz, and the minimum is 167.96 Hz with the word humor, and the maximum frequency is 295.12 Hz with the word hat. Here you can see the text grid picture of each accent, and the red line in the picture shows the pitch of each accent. Next is the intensity. For the British one, the average intensity is 77.77 decibel. The minimum is 18.24 decibel with the word he, and the maximum intensity is 83.36 decibel with also the word he. And the American, the average intensity is 72.85 decibel. The minimum intensity is 29.80 decibel with the word and maximum intensity is 79.85 decibel with the word had. The Australian accent, the average intensity is 71.73 decibel, and the minimum intensity is 34.97 decibel with the word great, and the maximum intensity is 77.77 decibel with the word enormous. So here you can see the picture of the text grid, and the green line show the intensity of each accent. For conclusion, English language is so important to be understood. It is used in 53 countries, and many people use English language as their first language. The language also used as a second language almost everywhere all around the world. In speaking English, one of the most important aspects is pronunciation. It is the way in which a word or a sentence is spoken. People consider a person is a good English speaker if they have good pronunciation. Based on the analysis that has been done, I found that there are a few differences between British, American, and Australian English speaker. From the overall result of the three sentences with three different accents, it is found that the British accent tend to have longer duration compared to the American and Australian accent. In contrast, the Australian accent always have shorter duration in each sentence being analyzed. It shows how the Australian speaker is talking faster than the other two speakers. In frequency or pitch level, the Australian speaker always has the highest pitch between the three speakers. It shows that the Australian speaker has a higher voice compared to the British and American sample. In intensity, the British speaker always have the highest average of intensity. This shows that the British speaker pronunciation can be heard more clearly, more better from the listener point of view. And to sum up, the differences between these three accents in the acoustic phonetic shows that each accent has their own characteristic in speaking the same language, which is English language. And the English language learner can choose which accent are they going to learn based on their need in speaking English. And that's all my presentation. Thank you for your attention.